Welcome back to my channel. We are starting with Sugar Cookie Chapstick. I'm going to tell you what's on my face. We're going to put on blush because it is one of the new to me items, and I do think I've used it before in a recent video. I don't know what I used new today from my new stuff that I needed to use. The Ulta Beauty Precision Foundation Brush number 12. I like this one a whole lot better than the 13 because this was pokey when I was putting on concealer, and I did not even put on concealer today. We have on the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, the Pat McGrath M18 Fashion Fair Steady Loose Truly Tawny, and Fenty Brow Pencil. And so I wanted you here for this part because we're going to put on Pat McGrath blush and Cherish, and this came free with purchase when I purchased all the quints. And so I'm going to put this on, then I'm going to cut out and do highlighter, put on Radiant Light from Hourglass, spray the face with the Scandinavia spray, and then we're going to come back, and as I'm priming the lids, we'll do the intro, and then we'll get into the look. The palette that we're using today for my first time is Bronze Ecstasy, I believe it's called. Is that what it's called? Yes, it is. And this is one of the quints from the Bijoux Brillance collection. And I'm hoping we can get something smoky or grungy or something out of this, but we're going to see. So let's put on this blush and then come back and do the intro and do the eye look. So this is what it looks like, and I never thought to get it because it looked like it would be too pale for me. I do think I used this, and I do think it is powdery, and I do think that I like that. I do have one House Labs bronzer. I do have that on. Ooh, you see how that puffed up? And it is kick up in the pan and around the pan. Tap off. It's not an issue for me because I will just tap into what I tapped off and use that. And so I do like it. It is a little light for me, but then sometimes it's not. Well, the other time it wasn't, and it depends on how much I put. It is buildable to a certain extent. So if you're around my complexion and you're wondering how Cherish would look on you, this is what it would look like on you if your undertone is similar to mine as well. So this is what it looks like, and I would have never purchased it. And so I'm glad that it did come free and that I decided to try it, because initially I wasn't going to try it because I'm just like, I don't know, it looks like it would be too light, too pinky. But you know what? It's cute. I think it's cute. I don't know how it's going to look with the eyeshadow quint, but we're going to do it. I tapped in very lightly, did not tap off, and we're just going to tap right here. So I'm trying to get it even with this side, even though this is down here and this is like up here. But we're going to put on, as I mentioned, a highlighter, and we're going to use the MAC Double Gleam, I believe it's called. Yes, Double Gleam Extra Dimension. So we're going to put this on for highlighter. And I already mentioned the Hourglass Radiant Light for under eye and face. I'm going to spray the face, come back, prime the eye, do the intro, and get into the look. Before we prime the lid, I want to tell you what's on my lower lash line, which is NYX Retractable Eyeliner, and this is Deep Purple. And on our upper and lower inner rims, we have on Sephora 12-Hour Retractable Eyeliner. This is waterproof, and it's 04 Matte Terracotta. So that is, at this point, everything on my face. So what is the Crazy Troll Nation? Why do I call this channel the Crazy Troll Nation? The crazy, just knowing it's okay to be yourself in your videos, as well as your day-to-day life. Try not to feel like you need to be something or someone other than who you are. Be your authentic self and love yourself for it. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. Watching beauty-related content, we may feel like we need to use that brand that we see, the tools that we see, do the techniques that we see. You know, try different things, but find what works for you. You set the standard for yourself. The bottom line here at the Crazy Troll Nation is self-acceptance and self-love. Embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. So that's what we stand for here. That's what the concept of the Crazy Troll Nation is. I need to let you know, if you're new here, hello and welcome. I'm glad you're here. I do use foul language every now and then on my channel because I use foul language every now and then in my day-to-day life. It is just how I roll. And I need to let you know, sometimes I do get loud unintentionally. I'm apologize for that outburst. My throat randomly gurgles, hiccups, and belches in videos, and I do always say excuse me. Sometimes it's a silent hiccup, and you'll see me go, that's a hiccup. So, and I do say excuse me for that too, because it's like, why is she having a seizure? Like, what's happening? So we're going to get into this palette. I'm excited to use it. If you're returning, thank you. I appreciate y'all too. This is 5 shades. You know we're going to put all 5 of them on. I'm going to try. Ooh. Oh, I did open, we'll get to that. We're going to layer, because I just want to see what it's going to look like. We're going to put this on the first half of the lid. And I do take my lid shades up into my transition area, because I have my lids are hooded, as you see. So this is my lid, and yeah, all the puff. So I do take my lid shades up into the crease, which is here in the transition area. And I think I might stop saying that. Today is the day that my blending brush video aired, and I do talk about in my makeup brush series that I'm doing, like why I do my makeup the way I do. And so part of me feels like still explain it when I'm doing a look for those who are new, or for those who have been here and just didn't hear it before. And then part of me is like, girl, they done heard it, but I know everybody doesn't watch every video, and that's just how it is, and that's really okay. It's hard to stay caught up on all of the channels that we're subscribed to. And I want to say when you create content, it's even more challenging, because on top of trying to watch, you know, who we want to watch, we're also doing our own content and posting our own stuff and replying to comments and everything. Nothing is really overly complicated. I don't think anything is complicated, but it can be time consuming. That's the word. And so it's hard to stay caught up. And I know a lot of you, and myself included, multitask. And so while I'm, you know, seasoning meat or making a salad for lunch or dinner, I'll have YouTube on my TV, and I'm listening. I look up every now and then and see what's going on. If it's a tutorial and I actually want to see it, you know, I actually sit and watch. But then that means I'm not doing like my daily activity life stuff. And I like when people don't live life on social media, meaning that doesn't steer your world. And some people will say, oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't here, I couldn't do this. Don't be sorry, you know, live your life. You know, social media, this is just a part of what we do, not our sole thing. And then we're going to take this on the second half of the lid. And so it can be time consuming to stay caught up, even if there's, you know, 10 channels that are like our favorite content creators. If they post every day, it can be hard to catch up. Or if they do lives or premieres on certain days and we may be at work, or, you know, something comes up, you know, we're not able to be present for that. But thankfully, premieres, you can still watch them after the fact. Lives, they automatically convert to regular videos after it's over. But there is still just something about just being there in that moment. For me, lives are so much fun because of the interaction. Like, you can type in your comments, I read your comments, and I comment on your comments. And so it is like we're having a conversation. And so it is a lot of fun. And the feedback from those of you who do attend, like, you enjoy it just as much as I do. And I really like that, because we are, you know, this is our little corner of the beauty tubes, you know, our little corner of you know, the Troll Nation. Well, actually, the Troll Nation is its own little city on YouTube, but and we're worldwide, because some of you are in other countries, and that just tickles me. I'm just like, wow, they're over in, I'm realizing this doesn't look as matte as I thought it was in the pan. That's this shade, but yeah, I guess it's not a matte. But next to this one is really looking not like a matte. And I just now noticed it when I was working over here. And some of you, you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta work, I missed your live. And I'm like, oh man. And I'm like, you know, replay. And they're like, I know, but you know, I wanted to chat. And I'm like, I know. So I'm trying to just find a balance of how often to say certain things. And I'm feathering this a little higher up, because for those of you who do watch the majority of my videos, I imagine it's redundant. And even my intro, like I'm sure you could say it with me, and some of you may say it with me. And there was a time when I stopped saying it and I got feedback like, I miss your intro, because it was, for some people, it's their daily affirmation. Love yourself for who you are. You know, you're fine the way you are. Just be yourself, be your authentic self. And so that's why I started saying it again. And I usually say it when I'm priming my lids. And so if you want to skip ahead, we're going back to the first brush, not adding any more shadow. So if you want to skip ahead, you can. And speaking of skipping ahead, I usually do put timestamps. I would love for you to stay, but I understand if you can't or if you do skip ahead, because as I was just saying, it's hard to keep up. And my videos be long as hell, and I know they do. And it can be a lot to ask, you know, for 50 minutes out of your day to just sit and watch one of my videos. And so I do really understand that, and I do appreciate the time you do watch my channel, because it does support my channel. You'll never hear me say, even though I'm tapping in lightly, I did not tap off. And even though there's links below, there's always a lot of information below in the description box. Like, I'll never say, you know, use my links if you want to support my channel. It further supports my channel. You just being here watching supports my channel. You commenting supports my channel. You clicking thumbs up supports my channel. You sharing my video supports my channel. So I'll never say, if you want to support me, do such and such, because that to me, I'm like, they're already supporting you because they're here. So what are you talking about? So now we're going to take, this could be your look. This is not a matte. You see this, especially over here, you can see where it's shining, where this is just flat. But this could be your look. If you want, just put on eyeliner, put on mascara. You already have eyeliner under here. But if you wanted to blend it out so it doesn't look harsh, I usually don't blend it out because I put shadow on it, which will blend it out, or at least give it the appearance that it's blended out. But we're going to take this shade, and we're going to put that on the first half of the lid. And I'm going to try to keep it, oh damn, this is creamy. I'm going to switch to, wow, oh, it's like, oh, it's like, when I was swiping it, it was like shifting it. It's very soft. It is very soft. Not soft where it's falling apart, creamy. That's the word I want. And like, where is it? So we're going to switch to a sponge tip applicator, which to me mimics a finger application. And that's another thing about, this is very creamy. When people say you have to use your finger, no you don't. You have to wet your brush, no you don't. So this is what it was on the brush. Just a little shine. This is what it looks like on a sponge tip. So, ooh, I tapped off and the chunk tapped off. And I probably need to get the chunk on my lid like some of the Celestial. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'm not going to take this all the way up because I want to leave this blend at the top. This blend that's up here. So we're mostly just going to put this on the lid. What I'm hoping for is that this will give me like a grunge vibe. Ooh, and I didn't get this before because I thought it looked dusty. I thought it looked too pale for me, too cool tone for me, too light for me. And then I said, you know what? The sale, y'all. I was like, let me just get it. And because I got one for one of you, if you watched that live haul video, and I did a separate video again of, you know, what I have for you for subscriber appreciation, I said, at least let me try it. And because I know I like the creamy formula in her recent quints over like the last year or so, I was like, even if it's not my vibe, Sunset Romance was not my vibe at all, because it was just so basic as far as the color story looked. And that's in my McGrath store. I don't expect it to sell because on sale, I think I paid $20 for this, $25. So even selling it for like, you know, $15, by the time they pay shipping, they could just buy it new from the website. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't expect it to sell. And I could just keep lowering the price. But still, it's just like, if I can get it new for almost what somebody's selling it for, I'll just buy it new from the website. And that's what ends up happening sometimes. And I know people want to save money. And, you know, if you buy something, there's, you know, shipping you pay and there's fees. But then as a seller, we also have fees. And so, you know, the goal is when you buy something to save money from purchasing it from a brand website. And as a seller, the goal is to make some of your money back that you spent on it. I do have a little bit of fallout. So it's like a delicate balance. Just trying to price it in a way where we're not in a hole, because if we're in a hole, you know, just toss it or just flat out give it away. But then giving it away, we're going to go into this shade, and this is going to go on the outer portion of the lid. I'm liking it so far, but I'm also wondering like if I could do this with something else that I have. I love this formula because it's creamy. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to, while I'm pressing and swiping, and it is picking up, and some of it is picking up in chunks. And the thing is to get the chunk on and then smear it. I'm wondering what this would look like over a black base, like MAC's Paint Pot and Black Mirror, which is a black, or even over a dark brown base, like Dip Down as a Brown or something like that. And that's a fluid line. Dip Down as a Brown is a fluid line, which is designed to be an eyeliner, but you can use it for a shadow base. Paint pots are designed to be shadow bases, and or just for eyeshadow. So this is what we got here. I'm not sure what I think about this look so far, but I do love the formula, and because it is kind of smoky, well not kind of, but because it is smoky, I am liking the vibe. But I'm still just wondering, like for all the work that I'm putting into it, I'm trying to see which side of the brush sponge tip I'm using, because one side I did one color, one the other color. So I'm trying to let's just keep going. I don't think it matters much, because once you pick it up, you'll get the color. Ooh, look how rich that is. So we're just smudging that out. Let me hold this a different way. I'm having problems, dexterity issues. Oh gosh, yeah, that was a lot that I put on, which was good, and then just gotta smear it out. I like these sponge tips. I do have a link for these down below, and I purchased these from Amazon because they're longer. So you see I can hold it in the middle and, you know, do this versus the tiny, tiny ones where you have to be like right up on the sponge and it's hard to get in there. And this helps me be more direct. And I see even with, that's looking textured, but it's looking shiny. So that's kind of making it not look textured because it's shiny. That even when some people use their finger, they still go back with a brush. And so I'm just like, so just use a brush. Or some people with their brush too. I'm too lazy for that. I just want to put something on and it works. I don't want to have to make something work for me. And that's why with this, I'm like, can I do this with something else? Because this is work. If this was like a regular powder, I would be done. But I'm still messing around with this. And I'm looking at the shapes. This one comes to a point. This side doesn't. I am liking the look. It's just more work than I typically want to do. But then I wanted to layer, and I do wonder would it have shown up differently if I had just patted it on top of the primer. And so that's a factor as well. So I'm going to put a brush home that we did not use. Now we're going to move to I was going to do more blending, and I pulled out this brush for that, but I don't think this needs to be blended up top. Like, I think up top is fine. So, you know what, let's just do it anyway. So we're just going in small circular motions, just blending out the top line of the lid shades that we took up here. But I am pleased with how this is turning out, as if somebody else did it and it wasn't me. So I don't know if that made a difference, but I think I like how it looks. So we're going to, for lower lash line, the only one we did not use yet was this one. So we're going to put this on the first portion of the lower lash line. And this one is creamy as well. This is a good brush for that, a tapered dense pencil brush. Okay. And because it's creamy is why it's not wanting to pick up on the brush for me. I'll just graze my eyeball. So that means this eye will probably start tearing. And that's also why it picked up well with the sponge tip applicator. Ooh. I do think most people would use their fingers with these because they are creamy. But for me, as I said, the sponge tips do mimic a finger application. And by this being so pointy, I'm tripping. Because I was going to use this tiny brush for this shade. So I think I'm going to wipe this one off. We're going to put that one back, the one I didn't use. We're going to wipe this one off. And we're going to take this shade. And this is creamy as well. Not as well creamy for whatever finish this is. This was just a regular shadow, a regular matte, and we're gonna put this over here. And you know what? I could have put this all over and then put this shade on top of it, layered it like how we layered the lid shade colors. This is wet from when I grazed this eyeball with that first shade that we put under here. So this is what we have. I'm going to, the brush I put away, I'm going to take that back out. And I'm going to go back into this shade here. And this is wet right here now. And this eye is tearing downward. And we're just going to put this here. And this is starting to tear. You see where it's wet there from when I grazed my eyeball. Now my eye is tearing. Try not to graze your eyeballs. Not that I think anybody does try to graze their eyeballs. I do like this. I like how this looks layered over that other shade. So that is that for the palette. This the tearing, y'all, gets me every single time. What are we gonna do now? Something that's not new to me, but that I finally decided to open, the one I had repurchased. MAC's Paint Pot in Contemplative State. I was waiting. I'm going to declutter some of my well, no. I was going to say I was going to declutter some of my potted eyeliners because some I don't use as much, but because they dry out in a certain amount of time, I'm like, I can just keep them and just use them until they get dry. But I was missing Contemplative State, and instead of this one, why does this seem like it's dry already? What? I was opting to use one of the ones from Kultura. That's what it was. Kultura from Melt, which is more orangey than this one. But I thought this one would go better with this look. And it is just kind of blending in. I don't know why this is feeling dry already. I don't have a problem with these being dry when I first open them. And maybe I just need to just dig into it. I think this is going to make it challenging for me to do my wings, though. Yeah, I think I need to dig into it because now that I am digging into it and being rough with it, it is a little more creamy. So when I'm saying digging into it, like I am pressing hard with the brush, and the brush is bending all kind of ways. And maybe I might need to take something and scrape off the top. I do think this was a good color for the eyeliner. I do like this look. It is giving me a grunge vibe. It just took me more work than I usually want to put into doing an eye look. And I do really believe it's because I layered. Because when I put shimmers, metallics directly on top of the primer, it does stick. But using the sponge tip, using it trying to layer, I think that was part of... I feel like I want to hiccup. So I'm trying to control it because I don't want to start talking and then like it slips out while I'm talking because that would be loud and obnoxious. But I do like this. I am going to keep this one. And I was really wondering, I don't buy stuff with the intent not to keep it. I buy it with the intent of, you know, maybe this will surprise me. Because when I did the look with Sunset Romance, I was just like, But with the other Bijoux Brillance Quints, I knew I was going to like Lunar Nightshade because of the tones of it. Bordeaux Bliss surprised me. And I was just like, whoa. And so, but I did want to try this one. I am glad I did. I am going to do another look with it. I am glad that we have like this grunge vibe going on. And I put this on here because that was fairly new. well, new open to me. We're going to go ahead and do our lip. This I haven't opened yet. This is just called Gold, and this is the Pat McGrath gloss. Actually, it's called Blitz Gold. So we're going to put that on, and then after this, we're going to put on our mascara, and then the look will be done. So I might as well just do mascara now, right? And just edit out. Well, and not edit out anything. Y'all, I swear, lip glosses, most of them don't look like anything but shine. What I thought to do, and then I forgot, I was going to line and fill in my lips with a brown lip liner. And I was going to top it with this. That's what my goal was. That's what my plan was. And then I forgot. I sat here and I was just like, let's just start to look. And so, but I could still line. Let me think about that. Am I going to line my lips? No, we're just going to leave it. So as of this point, I only have one more palette to use that's new, and that's Midnight Serenade. And we're going to do a few looks with that. That'll be a multi-look video with just that one palette, because there's, I forget how many shades are in there. But I'm excited to use it. By the time you see this, you will have seen the live swatches of a video, a live stream swatch party thingy. And if you're not able to make the live stream, or if you missed it, it'll be available for replay, for the replay crew. I always want to say the replay gang, but then I think, you know, what if YouTube takes that as violence? And so I find myself writing replay crew. Because every time, well, I don't know, gang is not always a bad thing. It depends on what you're referring to. But for me, it's never like, you know, violence or mayhem, madness. But I do think about that because I don't want to have strikes on my channel. So anyway, this is the look, y'all. Oh, also the other new thing, not new to me, but a new one that I repurchased was the Melt in Fortune. And so we'll be using that with the Lethal palette. So this is the look here, y'all. Let me know what you think. I like how it looks like negative space because of contemplative state. And I need to dig in it to get it to not be so stiff. And so it does look like negative space, which I think is really cool. And what I should do is put more, we're going to take that pencil because I do like, did I put purple underneath? Yeah. Because I do like when it looks like a double wing or a triple wing. And it would be easier just to put that eyeshadow under here. So I'm just going to put a little bit under here, and it's not going to be pointed because I have my skin is trying to move. So I do like the double wing, triple wing effect. You see what I'm saying? And it looks like this over here because the shadow is over here already. And so why am I messing with it? I'm gonna just leave it alone. So I do like how that looks though. I do like the triple wing effect. And I know I just kept saying double, but you see the shadow up here, then you see the wing, and then you see this wing. So it is almost like a triple wing effect, and I do like that. And it also looks like negative space, as I said, because it blends in with my skin tone. And this is Cherish, the blush, if you were curious about how that was going to look on you. I am digging a look, more work than I like to do, but I do like the formula of this Quint. Let me show it to you again. And if you have this, let me know what you think about it. If you are enjoying using it. Yeah, so that'll be it for this video. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe, like, share, comment, join. What's the other thing? Click the notification bell, all that good stuff. Lots of information down below. Pat McGrath playlist for the motherships and for the quints and the quads if you want to just see what else I've done with other mothership stuff or Pat McGrath stuff and other brands. And so we're going to end this here before I start to babble. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. As always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.